Hey everyone, it's Gen here. And as you guys can see, right behind me is Meadowlake. And one of the questions I had when I first moved here was, why is this lake here? And how does water get here? So here's a little documentary on why Meadowlake's here. You see, Meadowlake came here in the early 1950s with the guy by the name of Dr. Ray Dillon. Dr. Ray Dillon was in charge of how do we get water away from the railroad tracks and take it to somewhere where it can actually be used. So Dr. Ray Dillon thought of little manholes called basically manholes, uh, water collecting systems. And with the water collecting systems, water is collected through those, and it goes through a series of pipes that goes from the railroad tracks and away from the train tracks. And so he had to come up with the idea of where are we going to send all this stuff. Through the help of Hutchinson City, the city of Hutchinson, they actually created a water system that goes to the railroad tracks and it comes here to Meadowlake. Now, the beginning of the collection is, of course, by the railroad tracks. And with the railroad tracks, when the water is drained, because you see, water gets on top of the rails, and then that's why railroad tracks are higher than the ground, so that the water can actually run down and go into these little water collecting systems. And then now the first step of the water collecting system is through the first one. It's the main one it's a big manhole. It's a very large cylinder with a pipe underneath it. The second one goes to a manhole, but it's not covered by a lid. It's actually covered by a corn cage. What the corn cage does, it actually keeps leaves and decompositions, and it keeps out of the watering system, which is nice because you don't want to get a lot of debris in the system. And then after that, it goes to a big conjunction where half of it goes to Dillon Nature Center and half of it goes to Meadowlake, which is kind of weird. And then it goes through a few more. And now, guys, the reason why there are so many manholes or little places you can go in is because you can actually get like a snake, like one of those machines, those snakes, and you can go in there and you can actually clean them out. Because back in those days, guys, they had to go and use those snakes by hand, like wind pedaling, and it was just exhausting work. So they made one about like 100 yards from each other, so that it makes it a lot easier to clean. Because I'm telling you guys, this system is really hard to clean. I mean, absolutely hard. So it goes through a few more manholes, and then there's one where it's in the backyard of the Dillon's residence at Dillon Nature Center. And I'm just warning you guys right now, if you're not associated with like the watering system, like if you don't live here or live anywhere around that place, they will call police on you, and it's not pretty. They take their land very seriously. And then on Highway 30, believe it or not, there is a pipe where the water drains to that's on the side of the road, and then there's another manhole where the water actually goes down into, as long as the water system going in, but that's where also water can go in. And then after that, it goes underneath the highway. I don't know, I would like to say 500 yards until like the next manhole to clean. And it's like an oval one. But if you see one of those manholes, they all look the same. They all look exactly the same. So you keep on. So the pipes keep on going through, as you'll see, and then throughout all the watering system goes, it goes to one of our silting ponds. and the water, it goes to the silting pond, the first one, and then there's a pipe that you can't see, but it's a pipe that connects from the silting pond, the first one, and it goes to the second one. And then after it goes to the second one, it finally goes, there's a pipe, and it finally goes into this lake. And throughout all this, and throughout all like the system, like the length of it, it's like over half a mile long. So, and you have to say, why would they bother with that? Well, they're trying to keep water away from the train tracks. Alright, we're going to go back to beginning from where the water is collected from the railroad tracks and then goes all the way down to the pond. Please remain seated while the camera is in motion. Well, that's it for this documentary. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again later.